When you were younger, you probably made a wish every time you blew out your birthday candles. What's my wish this year? Well, it's simple. Peace. A server filled with war and hatred feels wrong. And when I told that to my friend, well...
Are you dumb? Conflict is literally the whole point of the server. Good effort, I guess, for a brain dead. A brain dead cabbage.
Excuse me? I'm the brain dead cabbage? Clearly the server is blind to its wrongdoing. So I'm gonna throw a birthday party and bring peace through peril. Sorry, Gandhi, sometimes violence is the answer. There's one tiny, little, absolutely massive problem. It's January 30th, meaning that I only have 48 hours to get everything ready since I have other plans on my actual birthday. After gathering basic gear and clicking the subscribe button, it was time to acquire beefy milk skin. Cows, I'm looking for cows. And after 2 hours of searching, guess how many I found? None! But that makes sense because whoever lives here is an absolute maniac. With 8 hours having gone by without me leaving my dorm or touching grass, I decided to climb into bed and get some sleep. The iron farm produced about 5 stacks an hour, meaning as long as Minecraft doesn't crash, I should have more than enough iron by the time I wake up. But of course, that's exactly what happened. And as the deadline creeped closer, it seemed like I was doomed. But since I'm the smartest Minecraft player alive, I came up with a plan. By trading 3 emeralds to a librarian, I could craft 32 glass panes, which could then be traded back to a cartographer for 3 emeralds, creating an infinite XP cycle I could exploit to enchant my gear 4 hours faster. With 30 hours to go, I cleared out the terrain from my gunpowder farm and got to work. Getting cats was an excruciatingly long process, but making the farm this way would allow the iron farm to continue functioning while I was AFK. I hadn't had a solid meal in nearly a day, so I decided to test my farm's productivity and grab something to eat. And in case you couldn't already tell by the missing layer of slabs, it didn't work. At all. Luckily, I was able to fix it before heading into work, and 6 hours later I returned to find 23 stacks of gunpowder waiting for me. Not bad, but given the fact that I needed 5,000 gunpowder by morning, I'd need to build more layers to the farm. With 1 layer, my farm could produce about 3 stacks an hour. So, it was reasonable for me to assume that if I built 5 more layers at an hour apiece, I'd have enough gunpowder by 8 AM. But, as you know, it can't ever be that simple. After 2 layers had been built, my roommate woke up and asked me to finish it in the morning because the brightness woke him up. Right. Unfortunately, without those layers, I'd have to wait until 10 AM to have enough gunpowder. Surely nothing will go wrong this time. I was crushed. Everything I had worked for the last 40 hours could have all been for nothing. And after expressing my frustration in the Discord, I was informed that the server restarts itself every day at 6 AM. That sure would have been nice to know before I went AFK. With 7 hours left, I only had one option. Spent 2 hours doubling the size of the farm and wait 47 minutes for the last cat to spawn before realizing that I could have just bred the cats the entire time! 61 stacks wasn't nearly enough to make 1,000 TNT, but I had to make it work. The plan was to hold the party above 500 TNT, and in the sky have 500 TNT minecarts ready to drop. After activating my secret stasis chamber, the air raid would explode the TNT underneath, and there'd be nobody left standing besides me. With only 1 hour left, I decided to test my trap in creative to make sure I had everything correct. And... wait, what? My trap had a devastating flaw. Singular TNT minecarts fall until they reach the ground and allow me to put them out of render distance. But since group TNT minecarts would bump each other in midair, they'd have to be placed much lower. It was over. All hope of bringing peace to the server was gone. But then I remembered something, or rather, someone. Gandhi. During his fight for peace, one of the things he preached was self-sacrifice. And with my hopes the captain of a sinking ship, I realized I'd have to go down with the crew. With 15 minutes until the party, all I had to work with was 800 TNT in an empty field. So, with the rest of my time, I turned it into this. And everything was ready just in time for the guests to arrive. One of them even brought me a gift. And for a moment, I felt a bit of sorrow. Maybe these people weren't so bad after all. Forget it. Attention everyone. Too long, the server has been at war with itself, divided by hatred and fueled by conflict. All I wanted was for you to get along, and yet even at my party, you still argue. I've had enough. If you can't be at peace while you're alive, do it in your graves. Today, a new era of peace has begun, where conflict will be met with consequence, and empires will be trampled underneath my feet. Be careful of who you trust, and be wary of where you step, because anyone who gets in my way will not be forgiven. To me, your corpses are nothing more than a memory of my birthday wish come true.